Hi everyone. I had a conversation with a producer this week who was really frustrated because he and his family had tried to create their succession plan several times, but each attempt ended up fizzling out. He felt that despite multiple attempts, they weren't getting anywhere. If this sounds like something that you are experiencing, just know this is a really common occurrence. As I mention frequently, succession planning has a lot of moving parts, and it's easy to lose focus, get stuck, or to become uncertain about where you're at in the process. I don't want you to worry about it when you feel like your plan is derailed. The main thing is to realize that you're off track. Once you recognize and acknowledge that, you can quickly determine what needs to happen to get organized and start moving forward. The first thing you should examine if you are the transitioning owner is this. Has the plan derailed because there is a critical decision that needs to be made and you are putting it off? Let me just acknowledge before we go any further, some of the biggest and potentially toughest decisions you will make as a farmer are going to occur in the process of building and implementing your succession plan. The decisions are difficult, but unfortunately, the truth of the matter is that the longer you put off making decisions, the more challenging the entire succession planning process becomes. This topic alone could be an entire video, so for now, if you are derailed because some of the decisions have you paralyzed, let me point you to the tools and videos in the DIRTT Project that can help you work through the process of making decisions critical to your succession plan. If derailment has occurred because of lack of focus, you need to determine why. Is the timing wrong? My experience is that there is rarely a wrong time to work on succession planning. If you have owners over 50 in the operation, you should be addressing and actively working on your succession plan. You may feel that there are times of the year that succession simply cannot be addressed because of the activities which require your attention. This can cause the succession plan to be put to the side, and you may neglect to set a time to get back to it. This will cause derailment, and I would encourage you to look at how you are organized around the management of your operation. A management operating system and business plan are both components of a comprehensive succession plan. When these are not present, it is easy to get pulled from fire to fire rather than to address things in order of priority. A solid management operating system will include weekly meetings, even in the very busiest of seasons. If your team is not committed to having a set time to discuss schedules, priorities, and to solve problems, maintaining discipline around succession is going to be very difficult. The great news is that establishing a management operating system and business plan are relatively easy to build once you determine the need and make a commitment to it. The last thing I will address today is the challenge of participation. You may find that you are willing to stay focused, but one or more members of your team are not. I will point you to the video that we created earlier on setting expectations, but let me address just a couple of key points now. First, if a team member is refusing to participate, you need to sit down with them and find out why. Do they think meetings are a waste of time? Are they angry because they aren't getting what they want? Digging into the issue and finding the root cause of the problem is critical to pulling the team together. You may find that the issue is something you can control. You may also find that the issue is more challenging. For instance, it could be an entitlement problem, or it is simply a control issue. These are tougher to deal with because they are usually a product of long-standing dysfunction that will have to be addressed in a thoughtful manner because boundaries will need to be reestablished and expectations will need to be clearly articulated. We will address both entitlement and control issues in upcoming videos. For now, let me just plant a thought in your mind. Work with the willing. As you know, there are tough decisions that need to be made in creating and implementing your farm's succession plan. If one of your successors is demonstrating a lack of willingness to participate in the process, either through attitude or action, that should tell you something and should not be ignored. So, if you feel like you're stuck or derailed, first identify why and then determine what is the one thing you need to do right away. Typically, just the process of identifying the issue and taking the first step will create the momentum needed to get back on track. Additionally, don't forget to communicate with the team. If they haven't heard anything from you in a while, they will need to be brought back into the conversation. Derailment happens. It isn't a failure unless you don't do anything about it. So take some time to evaluate where you are, determine your first step, and let's get back on track.